Om Trudevibhyo Namaha. In our world today, when you look at anyone who's got anything to do with spirituality, whether you call them seekers or sadhaks or experimenters or experiencers, whatever word you use, you will find them in two broad categories. There is one group which is the vast majority, and then there is a small group which is doing something else. Now, before I go there and talk about these two groups, here is a question for you. If you are a sadhak or associated with the spiritual world, what are you trying to do? What is your objective? Are you trying to understand the nature of this universe, the ultimate truth, and God? Or are you in this world to find a way to complete all those wishes that you have which are incomplete? Focus on this question, reflect on it, and as we are working through with this video, you may find a few answers. Do stay with me to the end because there are some very important things I'm going to share, and do leave your learnings in the comment section below so that I know what worked for you. Now, coming back to our subject, and I spoke about these two categories of people. So the vast majority of people today seem to be enamored by this concept that they can manifest their way out of their karma. They seem to be following affirmations and a whole host of techniques around that, including visualization and things. There are some who are trying to get into mantras and rituals, do certain things, certain number of times, certain number of days, etc. And this will happen, that will happen. You also find a bunch of people who are finding and selecting these places of pilgrimage, which apparently, if you go to, God will completely change your karma, what and what not. So it's a very interesting play that is happening there. Whereas there is this other set of people, the smaller set of people, there is something that they know, there is something that they understand, and they are only focusing on what their prarabdha is, as in this lifetime, which essentially means that of all the karmas, the sanchit karma that you're carrying, what is the karma that you need to exhaust in this lifetime? And within the space of that karma, what is their potential and what are their possibilities? They are spending time between those three things, working to exhaust all their karmas through any relationship, any situation that presents to them naturally, and through that continuously honing their potential and harnessing any possibility that is coming their way. What is the big difference between these two? And the difference is in the focus on karma yoga. Now let's go back to Mahabharata. In those moments when Arjuna was completely shattered and he could not pick up his arms to fight against his own family and kith and kin, and he was looking around and fearing the destruction, Krishna did not encourage him to do manifestation. Krishna did not say that you sit down and do this chanting, you do that pilgrimage. No. Krishna encouraged him to understand his dharma as a Kshatriya and to do what he was supposed to do. So what does Krishna say? Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That it's only the karma that you have your rights on, not what is the outcome of that. Leave that to God. And that's where he presents his own swarupa and helps Arjuna understand that he is watching, God is watching. And each one of us, the Arjunas in this world, are similarly being led by the Krishna, whoever it is that you worship, and you may call them Shiva, you may call them Shakti, you may call them Ganesha, whatever name you call them, that divine power which is up there somewhere, the ultimate power, the source, that source is watching and smiling over you. So what should we do? Instead of playing all this manifestation game, and we need to focus on understanding what our karmas are, what our relationships are, our situations are. And it's very simple. You don't need to try and figure this out through some mystical means. Yes, if you go to a good Jyotishacharya, you will be able to figure this out. But if you are just observant about your life, all the relationships that present to you, all the situations that present to you, all your own challenges, if you observe those, you will understand what's your prarabdha in this lifetime, what's the pattern of things that present to you, where do you need to work on your potential, and when possibilities come, are you ready for them or not? So focus on this, focus on your own ability. Don't play the manifestation game. Yes, when you are down on energy, doing affirmations is wonderful. Yes, if you need to recharge yourself, focus yourself, doing visualizations is wonderful. Even in our yogic traditions, we have the whole focus of dharana, dhyan, etc. But then we go beyond that, and only when you go beyond that, when you withdraw completely, when you go to pratyahar, you go to samadhi. So focus on the real essence of what you need to do. What are your actions? So understand your potential, understand your possibilities, and work according to that. The manifestation logic says, I decide. And that's sort of the Western thought which has been popularized. I decide. Whereas our Vedantic philosophy says, I dissolve. Through our karma yoga, we dissolve things that have come into our life, and we achieve the punya, or we achieve the release through that action. So this is what you need to do. Now you may ask me, or you may be disheartened by thinking that, oh, then I don't have any relief from the challenges that I have in my life. And this is where I said I'll share a little secret with you towards the end of it. So while you focus on your karma yoga and your path, while you focus on your action, while you sharpen your potential, while you sharpen your possibility, remember there are 3 beautiful blessings for the human life. Amazing blessings. And the first one of them is what Adi Shankaracharya called the ultimate of blessing for the human life, which is a guru's blessings. If you in your life have a guru, and it's truly a guru who, by the standards of our Vedas, by the standards of God's energy, is a guru. If that guru blesses you, you will get a complete release from whatever challenges you are facing. Or if the guru selectively gives you an energy and a blessing in a certain area, then that. So if a guru is pleased with you as a disciple, then the guru's blessing can either partially or completely dissolve your karma and give you relief in your lifetime. Now, this cannot happen by you trying to go out and find out a guru. When you are ready, when you are completely spiritually ready, your true guru will come to you. Now, this guru could be a spiritual saint or master or teacher, or this could also be a simple guide, philosopher, etc. Or it could be the Guru Tattva that we find around us, which means there is something that is leading us with that Guru energy, leading us from darkness to light, right? That Tattva when it blesses us. So don't go seeking the God. Prepare yourself as a perfect student. When you are a perfect student of life, when you are a perfect seeker of spiritual truth and connection with God, your guru will arrive. And if that guru is happy, like I said, the guru can partially or completely relieve you through their blessings from your karma. The second thing is God's grace. Now, in our Shastras, it is said that to find God, to be able to reach God, you definitely need a guru to lead you to the path. Now, you don't need an intermediary to know God, but to know the path to reach the God, that's where the guru is, and that's what our Vedic tradition says. The guru is the one that leads you on that path and gets you to that door beyond which you can reach your God and that ultimate union. However, just like Adi Shankaracharya said, the guru is the greatest blessing. You need a guru in your life to get God's grace. So while I've given you 2 points, which is guru's blessing and God's grace, ultimately it's through Guru's blessings and Guru's grace that you find God's grace. So those are two that you need to keep in mind. The third one is a very interesting one, and this can happen to some of us who go through our karmas in life, our relationships in life unconditionally. And it is someone's pure love and blessing. If there is someone in this lifetime that you touch so deeply that it's pure karuna, it's pure compassion and pure love that flows out of them for you, and they bless you, you never know what an immense shift it can be. It's like a 1,000 atomic bombs energy that you get in a positive way into your life. That person's love, their pure love, their karuna, their compassion blesses you, and you move on. Now again, you cannot make that happen. For this you have to transform. Now whether it is being a perfect student, or it is being so powerful that your sadhana reaches your God, or you are so pure and so lovely in your life that you touch somebody's life so deeply that they love and bless you with their completeness. All of this requires you to be to go through inner transformation, and that's what karma yoga does to you. So ultimately we come back to what we said at first. So instead of believing in that manifestation culture, understand the essence of our Vedic tradition, which says I dissolve, not the Western tradition which says I decide. When we can decide, but God can dispose. But when we work for dissolution, when we dissolve our karma, God blesses us and is with us. In Shiv Purana, there is this very interesting conversation where, there's this question that is posed to Shiva that how come anyone who does tapasya and gets a boon ultimately ends up in a very bad way or has a big challenge? And this was a question that was asked of anyone who was a human or a dana or a daitya doing tapasya and getting a blessing. And that's where Shiva says so beautifully that, if you call your Ishwar or your Ishta Sarvagya, which means they know everything, then when you're doing a tapasya, don't do it to get something. Just do it so that your love reaches your God. Instead of that, what do? Most of our chanting, our puja, our tapasya is for us to get hold of something, get some prize, get some unfulfilled wish, make our life easy, give us more money, this, that and the other. And that is where trouble happens. So if God gives that to you also, maybe that was not something that you were supposed to get and we go off track. There's so much of depth in what Shiva said. So if you are on the path of spirituality, if you are doing tapasya, if you're doing karma yoga, do it with complete surrender. That surrender to your actions, your karma, your potential, and working on your potential, working according to your possibilities. That's the greatest of sadhana. And yes, keep on doing your namasmarana, keep on getting connected with your ishta, and at some point in time, you will find your relief, either through dissolution or by finding a guru who will bring you God's grace, or by someone's love which touches you. So take good care of yourself and live with clarity and live with intent, but definitely live with action. Karmanyeva adhikaraste.